last year was obviously an improvement over the year before that, 9-2, good record. So how do you build off of last year coming into this year?
Well, we build off of it by hopefully having enough kids back that they understand our system, and we find ourselves with the foot up, and we're going to need that foot up and that level of play for our first two games. But we return a lot of guys on defense, and that is going to help us. We obviously graduated a couple key individuals, including Marcus Johnson, who was a mainstay, so we have to look to replace him. On the offensive side, we have some higher losses as far as due to graduation, but we think we have some kids that are going to fill it pretty well. But as far as building off of it, every year it's a different group of leaders. It's a different kind of chemistry, but we think we've got a good mix, and we think we're going to be okay.
Obviously, in the 17 years that you've been coaching, maybe the 2 or so years before last year were probably one of the more frustrating seasons. I guess, is Bloomington football on the upswing, maybe thinking about the goal might be going back to state this year, or have you even thought that far?
Well, that's the goal you have every year. I mean, you don't work hard in the off season. You don't find yourself doing what we do in the summer to lose a ball game. And we set our sights on that first ball game, that first week, and you build off that, so you win conference, and from there you're hopefully going to find yourself playing that last game that everybody wants to be playing. So Bloomington High School, we plan on being there. Whether it happens or not, you never know. And yeah, a couple of years ago it was frustrating. We were 6-3, and so for us that's frustrating.
But last year was definitely an improvement over that. Beat Normal Community for the first time in a while. And so you mentioned that you have a lot of guys coming back that we would know, but who are some names that maybe we wouldn't recognize that are guys you'd expect to step up this year and contribute a lot?
Well, as far as guys who perhaps you may not have heard, kids were looking to step on up. Dean Jordan, receiver, this will be his opportunity to first start for varsity. He is with Torrey Harrell, the other receiver, who did play for us last year as a true as a sophomore. We're hoping to see Justin Brooks at tailback compete with Derek Simmons. Simmons is somebody you know from defense last year, but Brooks is again a junior. He's got great speed. We're hoping that Tyler Dickens, whose name we've heard of from last year, but this will be, again, as far as starting, it'll be his season at quarterback. And then there are a couple other guys who hopefully will step in. One of the new ones in the line for us is this kid's moved back into our district, and that's Demetrius West. And he's a sophomore, but we expect him to start.
So you say that you'll expect good defense this year because a lot of guys are back in that position. Just summarize this year's Bloomington football team. Is it a defensive mentality?
Well, we're going to have enough bodies as far as the big kids in the interior that hopefully will full platoon, so we don't have to worry about those guys going back and forth. I think that with those kids, they definitely have on the defensive line and the ends, that mentality you're talking about. What we have to develop is enough depth in the secondary and within our linebacking core to make us the typical Bloomington team we've been in the past. A 5'2", the heart and soul is the LBs. And as I said, when we lost Johnson, that puts strain now on Ryan Dickens to do a good job stepping in, and whomever else pairs up with him in the middle. We have some good competition there, and I think we're going to put some good football players in that spot. You're just not going to replace a kid like we had a year ago.
Just summarize your expectations for the upcoming football season.
Well, I mean, I guess as a team we expect to go to the state championship and win, but I mean, that's a goal. Expectations, we expect to have a strong, like well-conditioned team. I don't know what you could say we expect, but as a goal, we definitely want to go to the state championship. So
now this is going to be kind of a defensive mentality this year. I guess a lot of guys are returning. Talk specifically about the defense.
Well, I mean, obviously we lost some great players from the defense last year, but I feel like we return a fast defense that will get to the ball quick, and I think we'll play good defense all year. So
last year was a good, I guess, rebuilding year, and that seems strange to say about Bloomington, but the previous season was frustrating. Last year 9-2 when you beat Normal Community. Talk about some of the accomplishments last year and how you can carry that momentum into this season.
Well, I mean, last year was the first year in quite a while that we beat Normal, and we actually beat them twice, which is always nice to beat your rival. So I mean, last year it seems like we got back in the groove that Bloomington was in those years when they were going to the state championship a few years in a row. So yeah, it was a good year last year, and I think we're well prepared for this year. So.
Does it seem strange to be a senior and be in a leadership position now?
It doesn't seem strange. It just kind of feels like I'm a senior now, so it's my turn to be in a leadership role, so I'm going to try to do that.
And personally, what do you hope to accomplish this season?
I just hope to be a good leader on our defense, and I don't have any specific number of tackles or anything, but I just hope to lead our defense well. So.